We're looking at the textbook translation exercises from Chapter 10 of Fuller and Choi on page 59. I'll begin with number 1. Avar Yehoshua et Hayarden im ha'am, v'Yisrael ba'aretz ad hayom hazeh. Okay, first let's take a look at this symbol here. It's called an atnach, and it is like a caret sign underneath a word. And this is our main verse divider. Depending on the verse itself, it's the equivalent of a period, a semicolon, or a comma. It's called a disjunctive accent, and it's one of several disjunctive accents. It happens to be the strongest of the disjunctive accents, other than the sof pasuk, which we're already familiar with at the end of a verse. That's the actual verse ending divider. But in the middle of a verse, the strongest disjunctive accent we have is the atnach. Let's go through the verse here. We have Avar Yehoshua. We've seen Avar already. Again, this is our perfect 3ms. The root is Avar. It means to pass over. It can also mean to transgress, but as we've seen before, when we have Hayarden, the Jordan, then we can take Avar to mean passing over something physical. We have the explicit subject here is Yehoshua, so our verb is Avar. Yehoshua, Joshua. Hayarden is definite, so we have a direct object marker. So here's our direct object. So Joshua passed over the Jordan, im ha'am. This is our preposition im, means with, and then ha'am. Our noun here is am, people. And notice the definite article in front of it. Ayin is one of the letters, along with aleph and resh, that rejects doubling and lengthens the normal patach that is with the definite article. So we have ha'am, with the people. So the first part up through the atnach is Joshua passed over the Jordan with the people. Now the second part of the sentence, v'Yisrael ba'aretz, so we have Israel, v'Yisrael, that's and Israel, ba'aretz, in the land. Eretz can mean either land or earth, and probably we're talking about the land here that they entered. So ba'aretz. Notice that there is a definite article. If we take the normal bait preposition that has a vocal schwa, we add it to the word eretz with the definite article, ha'aretz. The bait replaces the hay, but takes over the vowel. So here we have the vowel that we would normally have with the definite article, but the hay drops out. So we have ba'aretz, in the land, and then ad hayom hazeh. So here we have a demonstrative adjective, and it is masculine, singular, and the article makes it definite. To be used as an attributive, it has to match the noun that it's modifying in gender, number, and definiteness. So we have hayom here. Yom is masculine, singular, so that matches. Gender matches, number matches, and also the definite article here makes it definite. And so we have a match here between the noun yom and the demonstrative adjective zeh. They match gender, number, and definiteness. So we have this day. So ad until this day. Looking at the second half of this verse, then, we have v and the conjunction v Yisrael and Israel in the land until this day. So something's missing here, and this is what we call a verbless clause, and so we need to supply a to be verb. We could say was, is, will be. Probably our best choice of a to be verb would be has been. And Israel has been in the land until this day. Let's look at the whole verse here. Joshua passed over the Jordan with the people, and Israel has been in the land until this day. That's number 1. Let's move on to number 3. Asa Adonai et hatov layom hatov, ve'et harasha layom hara. Again, we see an atnach here, dividing the verse into 2 pieces. And notice what's called the tetragrammaton, the name of God, the personal name of God. It's this Yod He Vav He. In the Fuller and Choi textbook, it's never pointed. In the Masoretic text, it is pointed, and so pretty much from now on, I will point it the way the Masoretic text does. This word came to be pronounced by the Jews as Adonai, which is the Hebrew word for Lord. Rather than pronounce it directly, they would say Adonai, and that's what I'll tend to do for this class. So Asa Adonai. Asa is our perfect third masculine singular verb to do or to make, and then we have a masculine singular explicit subject here. So we have our verb, subject, and then here is our direct object. The direct object marker is telling us that hatov is our direct object. Tov is an adjective that means good, and like in English, adjectives can also be used as nouns, and here the sense is good as a class, as in good people. So the Lord has made the good, meaning good people, layom hatov. Now we need to analyze tov here. Is it being used as an adjective or a noun? It's potentially modifying yom, and we notice that the adjective here is masculine, singular, and the article, the definite article, is telling us that it's definite. And so for it to be used as an attributive adjective with yom, yom also has to be masculine, singular, and definite. We have the preposition lamed in front of it. Notice we have the patach and the doubling of the yod, which is the first letter of yom. This tells us that there is a definite article. If we were to write layom without a definite article, it would simply have a vocal schwa and no doubling of the yod. So yom is masculine singular, and we can tell that we have a definite article, so this is definite. And so the adjective matches the noun in gender, number, and definiteness. So we can say, for the good day. So lamed here being used as for the good day. So the Lord made, or has made, the good, meaning good people, for the good day. So that's the first part of our verse here. And then we notice that we jump right into a direct object marker and harasha, the wicked. Now, wicked is an adjective that can also be used as a noun, and since it's following a direct object marker, it's clearly being used as a noun. So we have an object that goes with asa here with hatov, and a second direct object, harasha, which also goes back to asa. The Lord has made the good for the good day, and the wicked, layom hara. Here again we have the preposition lamed with the definite yom for the day, and then hara, the evil. And again, these match in gender, number, and definiteness for the evil day. So let's go through this. The Lord made, or the Lord has made, the good for the good day, and the wicked for the evil day. Let's continue on with number 4. Bana Acharon Mizveach, Va'al HaMizveach HaKadosh HaHu Zavach Zevach, Ka'asher Tzivah Adonai et Moshe. So we have our atnach here, and that divides the verse into 2 pieces. And then we have another disjunctive accent here called a zakef katon, and that is a secondary division. It divides a portion of the verse into 2 pieces. This can be equivalent to a comma or a semicolon, sometimes a period. It divides everything from the left of the atnach through the rest of the verse all the way to the end. Notice also that when these disjunctive accents occur in the middle of a word, they give you the tone syllable for that word. Here we have mizveach, and here we have zevach. The zakef katon here is on the first syllable, zevach. Okay, let's take a look at our sentence here. We have our verb, this third masculine singular, bana, to build, and then we have our masculine singular subject, acharon, which is Aaron. Oh, Aaron built. What did he build? Well, we have an object here. Note there's no direct object marker, but we do have an indefinite object. The direct object is indefinite. There's no definite article. We don't expect to see a direct object marker. So Aaron built. Mizveach is an altar, and then we have a division here from the atnach. Va'al hamizveach, and on or upon hamizveach hakadosh chahu. Now here we have two potential adjectives coming after hamizveach. We need to decide whether these are attributive adjectives that relate back to hamizveach. And we need to note that the demonstratives, ze and hu, and the other demonstratives can double up with other adjectives. So we have hamizveach. This is masculine, singular, and definite because of the definite article. And here we have hakadosh. Again, this is masculine, singular. It's got a definite article, so it is also definite. And that matches our noun mizveach. And then hahu, and that is also masculine, singular, and definite because there's a definite article. And so we have literally the altar, the holy, the that. We would say that holy altar. So upon that holy altar, he did something. So we have zavach, zevach. Now zavach is a third masculine singular verb, and it means to sacrifice. And so we have he sacrificed something. Now technically there's no direct object marker here. Zevach is sacrifice, a noun. Theoretically, this could be the subject, and then we would say a sacrifice sacrificed, as in a sacrifice performed a sacrifice. But there's a couple of reasons why we wouldn't read it that way. Number one, it doesn't make sense. We would never expect a sacrifice to perform a sacrifice. We would expect Aaron to perform the sacrifice. And secondly, it's very common in Hebrew for a verb from a particular root to take an object from the same root. We have the root zayin beit chet as a verb together with a related noun, zevach. And it's very common in Hebrew for a verb and a noun from the same root to go together. For instance, he dreamed a dream. He sacrificed a sacrifice. So here we will supply the subject he, because it's a finite verb, we can do that. He sacrificed a sacrifice. Let's read the sentence up to here now. Aaron built an altar, and on that holy altar he sacrificed a sacrifice. And then the last part here, Ka'asher tzava Adonai. Ka'asher is just our word for as. And then we have tzava. This is a perfect third masculine singular of the root tzava, meaning to command. And in this case, I've pointed the word yod he vav he the way that it is pointed in the Masoretic text. It's actually pointed the way the word Adonai would be pointed. So the pointing doesn't tell us how to pronounce the divine name. It reminds us to pronounce it Adonai. And then we have et Moshe. So as the Lord commanded et Moshe, Moses. Moses is definite. It's a proper name. There is no definite article, but you don't need a definite article with Moses because it's a proper name, so it's definite by definition. So we have a direct object marker. As the Lord commanded Moses. So let's read that. Aaron built an altar, and upon that holy altar he sacrificed a sacrifice as the Lord commanded Moses.